Today, we will talk about canceled checks and how to get a copy. A canceled check is a check that has been paid or cleared by the bank it was drawn on after it has been deposited or cashed. The check is canceled after it's been used or paid so that the check cannot be used again. Somebody who has written a check may also cancel it before it has been deposited or cashed by alerting the issuing bank, thus voiding the check. A canceled check has been paid after going through a check clearing process. The check is cancelled once the money has been drawn from the bank the check was written on or the drawee. The process of a canceled check includes the following. Today, nearly all checks are cleared through the Federal Reserve banking system electronically, even in cases when the deposit is a paper check. The deposit and check clearing process is still performed, but the paper check almost never leaves the facility where it is deposited. Instead, a special scanner creates a digital impression of the front and back of the check, which it sends to the other bank. When the check finally clears the account of the payer or the person who wrote it, it's considered cancelled. In short, a cancelled check means the clearing process has finished, and the check cannot be reused. As a result, cancelled checks can be used as proof of payment. Traditionally, cancelled checks were returned to checking account holders with their monthly statements. That is now rare, and most check writers receive scanned copies of their cancelled checks, while the banks create digital copies for safekeeping. In most cases, customers who utilize the best online banks can also access copies of their cancelled checks via the web. While many banks charge for paper copies of cancelled checks, customers can typically print copies from the bank's website for free. Let's say Lee writes a check to David. David takes the check to his bank and deposits it. The bank may credit David's account in the amount of the check automatically or may delay clearing the deposit. David's bank may make a portion of the funds available to David until the check clears through Lee's bank. David's bank sends the check electronically to Lee's bank. Lee's bank debits Lee's account for the amount of the check, sends the funds to David's bank, and stamps the check as cancelled. While a cancelled check is honored by the bank, a return check is a check that did not clear the payer's bank, and as a result, the funds would not be made available to the payee or the depositor. There are a few reasons a check can be marked as returned, for which the most common is insufficient funds in the payer's account. However, the check can be returned for other reasons, including, if someone writes a check and there is not enough money in the account to cover it, the bank may return the check to the payee. Typically, a fee is charged to the payee by the payee's bank, and the payer's bank charges a fee to the payer's account for writing a check that ultimately bounced due to non-sufficient funds. If you need to cancel a check you've written before it is cashed, you have a few options. If you still have the check in your possession, you can write "void" across the front of the check in large letters. If you no longer have the check, you can contact your bank to request a stop payment. Some banks will accept a stop payment request over the phone, while others will require written notice. When you need a copy of a cancelled check, contact your bank or credit union. If you have access to mobile banking, you may be able to log into your account, search for the check among your transactions, and print or view a copy. You may also receive photocopies of your cancelled checks along with your monthly banking statement, or you might need to request a copy from the bank directly. Some banks will charge for copies of cancelled checks. With a cleared check, the funds have been successfully cleared, or moved, from the payer's account to the payee's account. When a check has cleared, it is then cancelled to prevent it from being used again. Cancelled checks are an important part of the check settlement process. They mark the successful settlement of a check transaction. You can cancel a check yourself by voiding it or requesting a stop payment from your bank. To get a copy of a check that has been cancelled, you'll usually need to request it from your bank directly or access it via your mobile banking account. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. A cancelled check is one that has been cleared by cashing or depositing it, rendering the check null and void for further transactions. 2. A cancelled check indicates that the clearing process has been completed, so cancelled checks can be used as proof of payment. 3. A check may also be cancelled by its writer before it has been cashed by alerting the issuing bank. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.